I told you guys, I told you Charlie's gonna play Cash. Charlie's gonna hurt Cash. I told you all. This is it. I never wanted Cash to let Cinco go. I wanted Cash to reconnect with Cinco. You know, I wanted her to reconnect with Cinco, and some of you guys were like, Cinco played her. It's all about girl power. She should walk away. You should never go back to a man who had dumped you. It's all about love because she was feeling Cinco and Cinco was feeling her. That is the simple truth. They had feelings for each other. So yes, and she shouldn't have even cared about. I think Cash is a selfless person because if Cash never would have let Cinco go, she wouldn't have been in this situation. She wouldn't have been in this situation that she's crying right now because Charlie is hurting her. You know, I understand where Charlie is coming from. Charlie is saying in his confessional, he said one of his confessionals, he said he doesn't know Cash for for that amount for a longer period of time. To be able to trust her or to be able to put all of his eggs in one basket. Because what Cash was undecisive between him and Cinco for a very long amount of time. So he got hurt. So their trust has been broken. But I'm like, you should understand Cash too because Cash sacrificed Cinco for you, guy. Cash sacrificed Cinco for you. Cash really had feelings for Cinco, and Cinco had feelings for Cash. But Cash sacrificed Cinco for you, not to hurt you. And you, Ellie has just called me in, and you've sat with Ellie for the first night. When they had that date, you sat with Ellie and you've discussed things. And right now, and you guys, you saw the plate of food he prepared for Ellie. You saw the plate. Oh, that guy can cook. It was so presentable. Was it fried Oreos? It was so presentable, guys. Meaning, he wanted to sweep Ellie off her feet, and Ellie has fallen. Ellie has fallen. So, guys, Ellie has fallen for Charlie, and so after that date, they went to bed, and Cash wake up in the morning and was like she was so hesitant to make breakfast for Charlie, and she was like the whole night after the discussion Charlie had with Ellie, the whole night she has tried to to put her hands upon Charlie, to sleep closer to him, like for them to cuddle, and Charlie has been distancing himself, away from her on the bed. And she wake up in the morning, she wanted to go for a kiss, and Charlie too has been distancing himself. Charlie does not want to kiss him. Let me just say that Charlie does not want to kiss her. Charlie has been distancing himself, and she was literally in tears telling Olivia that now she has sacrificed Cinco for Charlie, and this is what Charlie is. This is what she is getting from Charlie. I do understand her, but I think I don't want. Charlie hasn't been this is Love Island. Charlie, if you're not feeling somebody, you see someone better, you have a better connection with, you can switch side. That is what the show is all about. But I think Charlie owes Cash loyalty at this point, I think it's too early because he hasn't been in the villa for long. He has the right to look at other options to see if those other options, it's fruitful for him. It will be favorable for him. Then, if he can move over to those other options, maybe early. But if it isn't favorable, he can come back to Cash because that is what the show is all about. The show is all about switching from one person to another, from one lover to another, one person you feel more connected to another. You look at Cinco. Cinco left Cash for Trina, and he was with Trina. Then he later on started fighting back. Started fighting to get back with Cash. That is what the show is. So I know I hate Charlie for hurting Cash. I hate seeing Cash cry because Cash is my girl. Cash is my girl. I hate seeing her cry. She's been through a lot. She's been hurt several times. And I don't want to see it happen. Cash is my girl, but I just want to give Charlie the benefit of the doubt. I just want to, although I hate the fact that, even if you've seen someone new, someone new has come into the villa, you should at least, show some loyalty to Cash. You shouldn't make her feel bad. You should at least connect with her. You shouldn't just disconnect like that. When you sleep, you guys are in the bed sleeping together. Cuddle with her, even though you want to pursue things. We want to see, but don't just kind of like disconnect. It was so hurtful to catch out. I'm so sorry to see her in that state. Then let's go move on to Will and Kira, guys. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, guys. Please, let's get to 100 subscribers and like this video, guys. The more you like this video, the more YouTube is gonna promote this video to other viewers of our show. Please, guys, like. Don't leave. Don't just watch and do not. Don't just watch and don't like. Please like and please subscribe. Please, it will cost you nothing to like and subscribe. It will literally cost you nothing. Please, guys, subscribe and like. So let's move on to Will and Kira. Yes, I hate the fact that Shannon of all people is coming for Will, saying Will misbehaved, with Flo or at the villa. They're wearing at Casamo. The girls were at Casamo while the guys were at the villa. So she should shut her mouth. She should shut up and mind her business. I know she's an upfront person, but she should shut up and mind her business and mind her relationship with Josh. I don't think Josh loves Shannon. Josh is simply scared of Shannon. That is what I think. Josh is simply scared of Shannon. You all can talk whatever you want to talk. I'm just giving my opinion. Josh is scared of Shannon. Shannon is the most dominating one. If in the real world, Josh, the cameras are not around, or they hope, for winning a prize of the, for the hope of winning any prize out of the show, there is. Josh will leave Shannon because Shannon is so dominating. Shannon is so controlling. You remember when they were talking about how they were discussing on how best you know your partner, and that little challenge which they had, and Shannon talked. Josh said he is into sex. He loves sex because Shannon, has complained that in a previous relationship, sex wasn't really the guy she was dating wasn't giving her, they did not have sex. It wasn't giving her, physical touch and sexual connection. It's so hard to talk about sex like that, but we are all grown people, and I hope there is no kid, there is no person under 12 watching. We are all grown ups. So yes, so her previous relationship, she wasn't having sex. She was into sex, but the guy wasn't sexually active. Let me put it that way. So, and when Josh said that was truthful, and for Shannon to really get back and talk to Josh in a very reply Josh in a very rude way, saying he's super immature and he's not man enough to really say that, because that is what you confessed to him, and he said that, so I think, let's just cut it short. I think Shannon and Josh's relationship, Josh is just simply scared of Shannon, and it seems Shannon is older than Josh. It's a cougar relationship. So Josh is scared of Shannon. So Shannon needs to mind her business and leave Will alone. Although we know what Will did, it's wrong. It's wrong. But Flo was really a beautiful girl. She had the figure 8 going. She's got the swag. She's Hispanic. Will is Hispanic. I mean, the connection, it's just so normal that they will just vibe and connect quickly. So I'm sorry for what Kira went through, but the girls need to let things go, because Trina came and was like, because Alana picked Will to have dinner with Will, and Will cooked and prepared, and Will was like, I don't want the same situation which happened to Flo to continue anymore. I've made it clear I'm into Kira. I'm into Kira. I want our relationship to grow. I want to know her better. And I'm glad that he said that. And then Trina came around and was like, we know the situation, what happened at Casamo, at the villa, because the guys were at the villa, that we really don't want you to hurt our girl, Kira, and please. And he was kind of like begging Will, and Will was in tears and was like, who is Shannon to really come up, to him and start warning him, telling him that he is a player, like blah 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 blah. Really, Josh too can be a player, but Josh is simply scared of Shannon, because Shannon is most domineering, and Shannon always bully Josh. And Shannon always calls Josh out of his name, saying he's super immature, he's a child, da 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 da. And Shannon is older than Josh, you know. So yeah, so if she thinks she's got a relationship there, that's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. That's a bullying relationship with her being the bully and Josh, being the receiver of all the physical and emotional pain. And I don't think out of the show their relationship is gonna last because it's not a real relationship. And I think out of the show, Kira and Will's relationship is gonna last because that relationship has been tested. That relationship has been tested, and yet Will came back to Kira. So Shannon needs to shut her mouth and mind her business. Please, mind your business, Shannon. Mind your business. And let's move on. I like the fact that Will had to shut down Alana so quickly. And yes, I like that fact. Let's move on to Olivia. Olivia is now claiming she's got feelings for Corey. Olivia doesn't have feelings for Corey. That is how I see things. I know you guys are gonna come for me. Olivia doesn't have feelings for Corey. That's the simple truth. The truth is, if the Olivia is desperate for Corey right now, telling Corey she's got feelings for Corey, she doesn't want to be hurt. Yes, simply because men have got the power, the recoupling power. So you have to understand these things. Men have got the recoupling power, but we are gonna see, when women have got the recoupling power, to really see if Olivia truly likes Josh. When new guys are gonna come in, how she's going to maneuver her things, how she's going to move around with those guys, and to see if she's gonna pay Josh any attention, Corey any attention. They will gonna know if truly. That's when we are gonna know if Olivia truly likes Corey. But for now, she's just so scared that if the recoupling game challenge comes, Corey is gonna pick what's that her name again? Bailey. Corey is gonna pick Bailey, and so she's so scared. She's all over the place crying. I like the fact that Corey is so mature. Corey is so into Bailey. But for me, I think what makes Corey happy, Corey should go for. But I think Corey should go for Olivia because he and Olivia have known each other since from day one. So Corey should just go for Olivia and try to build a relationship there. But I also think he should follow his heart. If he's feeling Bailey, yes. But I know Bailey is feeling Jeremy more than Corey. Then let's look at the relationship of Jeremy and Bailey. Jeremy. I think Jeremy is gay. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I said that, but I'm just giving my opinion, because if you look at the way Corey is vibing with Bailey, and you look at the way Jeremy is vibing with Bailey, Corey is more into Bailey. Jeremy isn't into Bailey. And Jeremy isn't that into Bailey. Jeremy words doesn't match his action. Okay, good. His word doesn't match his action. He says he's into Bailey, but the physical connection, he doesn't move closer to her, like to touch, and he's just seated there. Jeremy, this is the fit girl. The fit girl that has been in the house, Jeremy has failed to build a connection with. And I still don't know why he's still on the show, why they gave him the lifeline to stay. Why didn't they pick Cinco? Why wasn't Cinco picked to stay? Jeremy would have been the one gone by now. Because Jeremy's situation, I think that rumor I've heard online that Jeremy's father is an executive producer at CBS, it might be truth. It might be so true, because why is Jeremy, if you look at the connection, Jeremy, even after Jeremy went to the villa, Jeremy picked Genevieve. Genevieve was complaining, Jeremy wasn't cuddling, Jeremy wasn't doing this, like, okay, you went to Casa Amor, you saw this girl, she's beautiful, why don't you put an effort to build a relationship with her? Okay, she has been sent home, and you this is Bailey. We'll look at the relationship with Bailey if she's going to focus, on knowing Bailey more. Maybe he hasn't seen his type, but his type this is the fit girl, out of the fit girls, that have been coming around. Maybe they are not his type. I don't know. I don't know, but we are gonna see. So, guys, let's move on to. mm, I've already said it all. Yeah, so guys, that is pretty much it about Love Island. So this episode was late. This episode was late. I feel so bad for our girl Cash. I feel so bad for our girl Cash. If Charlie gets to break our girl's heart, whoever Charlie pairs up with, Charlie is not gonna win, because we will make sure, when the time comes to vote a couple out or a single person out of the show, we are gonna vote Charlie out, because our girl is gonna win. Let's make sure Cash wins this. Let's make sure Cash wins this, guys. Let's make sure Cash wins this. I love you all, but no, Jesus Christ loves you more. Do not forget that Jesus Christ loves you more. And always be prayerful when you wake up in bed and when you go back to bed, to sleep. Be prayerful. And I know the situation we are all facing. We are in the middle of a pandemic and it's not easy, but I pray for the grace of God upon your lives. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. I love you all, but know Jesus Christ loves you more once more. Bye bye. Stay safe and be blessed.